He is a Laker maniac, and he is the Archbishop of the Bronze Sexuals. Welcome back to Prince and Barty.
So 141, we in the building. Listen, history was made where Nikola Jokic led the league in rebounds and assists. What does this mean to the game of basketball, man? You know, we're holding the court with Prince. What's your take on Nikola?
It's amazing, man. He been doing the amazing. He makes the amazing normal, man. You know, like I said, how long we've been doing this show since 2020, and I said in 2020 he's top 5 center of all time, man. He's nothing like him, man. Him and Westbrook have a unique similarities in their career and what they was able to do over a course of time. But 3-time MVP. You could say he could have had 5 MVPs, you know what I mean? And he just seems so much more focused. That sounds crazy, a 3-time MVP more focused, but something about his mindset of how he made Wemby look like a little boy. You know, he had Wemby bully balling him, showing him, hey, you gonna be the man, but right now it's on me. I'm the best player in the world right now, and I'm excited to see these playoffs, man. Denver, him and Murray in the pick and roll. You know what that is.
That's definitely crazy. Listen, you know, last year we went to Summer League and we got to see the great Cooper Flagg play out his season. Has Cooper Flagg been everything we expect him to be? And what is the ceiling for Cooper Flagg in the Dallas Mavericks?
I was just thinking about that. When you think of the players who lived up to the expectation, it's not a lot of them who start out immediately, right? You got, obviously LeBron comes to mind of like somebody who, hey man, you're supposed to be this. He did that and more in his career. Hooper could do that too, possibly, man. But my thing is, there's a lot of bad basketball, man. Obviously, Anthony Davis fiasco, Kyrie Irving not really in the lineup, so they're not really in a playoff situation. So he got a chance to really go out there and accelerate the learning curve. You know, take bad shots, lead a team, run some point. This is almost a perfect year. This is almost like an extended college year for Flagg. So now I want to see him in a system where now you're playing winning basketball. You get Kyrie back, see what they do in the summer, see what they bring in, and really see what his game is. But just seeing how he plays, man, he got that. He's like a LeBron, man, where we know what LeBron could do, but LeBron's greatest skill set is his hustle. LeBron hustles like he's a role player, and you've never seen a superstar. He has that hustle like a Dennis Rodman, and he's a superstar. So it's a rare thing to see. And I think Cooper Flagg can kind of mirror LeBron James, like, hey, run the passing lanes, play that dunker spot. Because you faster than everybody, bigger than everybody, so you're going to get easy buckets all day. Knipple's doing this thing too, man, but he's just the 4th option. So, you know, I can't really put him in that discussion.
You brought up LeBron, so let's segue to LeBron real quick. 12,000 assists. Of course, we know it's the numbers game for LeBron as far as for him in the GOAT debate. But what does it mean for LeBron James to get 12,000 assists? And what does it mean for the game of basketball as well for him to get those numbers?
It's crazy, man. I always said, man, he's really Magic Johnson. But he's an athletic Magic Johnson, sees the floor at that height, that speed. You know, LeBron is a pass-first guy. You know, scoring is a secondary thing for him, man. He gets excited watching people, you know, score. So, I mean, I'm not shocked. You know, so he's going to be one of the few, you know, Harden's going to be on that list. Obviously, Westbrook, guys who could score it and pass it at the same time, man. You know, it's funny, man, when you look at people like, it's rare that the number one option could lead the league in assists or have such high assist totals, especially from like that Jordan and Kobe era of that Gunner era where they wasn't really passing. You know, Kobe might have 5 assists, 4 assists. You know, that wasn't really what they was doing. It was like more trained assassins, but it's dope, man. That's the LeBron I prefer, like the playmaker Bron. That's who I'm more a fan of than anything else. So I'm not shocked, man. He's probably one of the smartest people to ever play, for sure.
Lakers are the 4th seed. Of course, we know that Austin Reeves, the chances of him coming back in the first round is maybe 30%. The chances of Luka coming back in the first round is about 60%. What is the over and under on the Lakers even coming out of the first round with a LeBron James-led Los Angeles Lakers and their second best player being Marcus Smart?
Oh my God, I just got depressed. You said Marcus Smart. My God. You know what? This falls beautifully into the LeBron Sexuals playbook because, hey, but you got to lose. So LeBron gonna go out there, he gonna play hero ball. He gonna probably average 30 plus in this playoff. He gonna look good. He gonna be like, hey man, Luka wasn't here. I tried my best. You know how LeBron gonna spin it. It's perfect for him, man. Bronny gonna get some clock. Bronny's getting meaningful minutes now. So the pen is already in motion for LeBron to have a historic playoff run. You know he gonna go hard. Even if you know he not gonna win a chip, he gonna go hard. You know, as
Do you get,
back to the number one option.
do you give them a puncher's chance versus Houston?
I think ultimately the size is gonna be too much. You know, Reed Shepherd getting into the paint, obviously KD being KD, and the switchability, you know, Jabari. Like Houston got a really good team, man. Sengun in the post. Who do we throw on him? Where normally LeBron would have to guard one of those bigs. But now he's bumped up to the number one option now. So what does his defensive output look like at that age? Because he really got to be a two-way player for us to even have any kind of chance. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting, man, to see what it is.
You know, the Road Tripping podcast, it was a statement made where they said, listen, if LeBron goes off and they do win this series, the Lakers are cooked for the second round because he's gonna be gassed out for the second round. And even if Austin Reeves and Luka comes back, LeBron's not even gonna be who he was when the Lakers were on this road trip, when they were winning all these games, where he's gonna be burnt out. So if Luka and Austin Reeves comes back, Lakers get out of the first round, what, as a Lakers fan, what chance do you give them in the second round versus OKC? Is it a sweep? Do they win one or two games? And I know we're looking too far into the future, but you know, stranger things have happened. Also, too, another is a two-sided question. Should they shut down Luka? Because, I mean, a strained hamstring is a strained hamstring. And you know these things, if you keep pushing them, it's like a back injury. It can last forever. So should the Lakers shut down Luka and Austin Reeves and just look to free agency? You know, our season is over.
See, that's a great question. Yeah, I think we're looking too far ahead, man. Houston is a more than a formidable opponent. I know we beat them towards the end to clinch, but we had Luka going crazy. We had Austin Reeves and LeBron all clicking at the right time. So that's what makes these injuries so untimely, man. Because it's like, just seeing them kind of getting to that peak level of just knowing where each other at on the court, everybody kind of knowing their role. Braun really accepting that dunker spot role. It was beautiful to see when it was clicking. But now, even if Reeves, like you said, is 30%, even if Luka by some chance gets that Kobe Bryant in his knee over there in Germany, wherever he's going, is that enough? You know, is he still playing hero ball? Now he really can't play defense. Reeves really can't play defense. There was already liabilities. Now you're adding lower injuries, back injuries to that. I don't know. But I know one thing I will say, JJ Redick will have some kind of a game plan to prepare. I don't know what that looks like. You know, Marcus Smart is going to have to step up. I don't know if Vando's going to get some minutes now. So we'll see, man. You know, we'll see. But as far as OKC, man, it's hard with them, man, because they're able to switch every position. Remember we played them last time when Luka got hurt, man. I feel like a lot of people say he faked the injury, man, because they was getting whooped so bad. So it just so I don't know, man. It's unfortunate, man, because I had high hopes for this team, and if I'm Reeves, I'm not really trying to get hurt. I got a big summer. You know, what Austin Reeves, I mean, I think he proved everything he needed to prove as far as he gonna get paid by us or somebody else. So do you go out there and risk more injury going into the summer? I don't know. It's a lot of kind of questions. You know, sometimes you got to be selfish because, you know, it's no loyalty in this. So if I'm Austin Reeves, I'm looking at it all like, hey, do I really need to come back? Just being honest. You know, I'm a Laker fan, but, you know, we want people to get their money and feed their families too.
Let's play a game, hypotheticals, man. I'm going to throw some names at you, and I want you to tell me what you think. All right? So you got the 96 Bulls, Michael Jordan, Ron Harper, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and you throw prime Kevin Garnett on there. Then you have, look at your face. I like it. I like it. Then you have Kobe and Shaq in their prime. And when I say prime, I mean Kobe from the last two championships with Shaq, Robert Horry, Glenn Rice, and you throw prime Magic Johnson on there. Then you have prime Kevin Durant, prime Draymond Green, prime Klay Thompson, prime Steph Curry, and you throw LeBron James in his prime on that team, right? Now that's 3 teams I throw at you. Now the final team, you got Sean Elliott, prime David Robinson when he scored 71 points, prime Tim Duncan, Avery Johnson, and you throw Victor Wembanyama on that team. If this was the final 4, this is the final 4 teams. We just named 4 teams. Who walks out with the Larry O.B. with those teams there?
Damn, that's a good one, man. It might shock you. I'm gonna go with LeBron going to Golden State because that's the Avengers. You got Bron, you got Steph, you got KD. Like in they prime, it's. I mean, obviously dominant Shaq, Kobe, and Kobe in his prime. I'm not arguing that, but I feel like Magic would be. They don't need him. Like he'd be overkill at the point.
Yeah.
With Kobe, like I don't know what that looks like with Magic. You know what I'm saying? When the Bulls are they started off strong though, because KG with the Bulls. Oh my God. But LeBron and Draymond on the same team, just running the floor with Steph and KD coming off back curls. Come on,
And
bro.
Clay.
KD and Steph coming off pin downs with LeBron James at the point. Come on, bro.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Listen, I
got to upgrade in Magic.
Social media. I saw it on social media, so I had to throw it your way. I needed your expertise because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what to pick. I didn't want people to say if I picked it, I was going off of Bron. I saw it because I actually like KG with the Bulls because KG's a dog. And then you got KG at the center, and he plays D with Dennis Rodman. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Let's keep it moving, though. Since we brought up Victor Wembanyama, you look at him, he's up for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Now, we haven't seen it done but 2 times in NBA history. Once with, of course, Giannis, another with Michael Jeffrey Jordan. What does this do for the case of the legacy of Victor Wembanyama?
To be honest, man, like I don't want to take it to this place, but sometimes it gives you anxiety, man, because the young man is so gifted that you just want him to stay healthy. Because if he can stay healthy, he breaking every record. It's gonna be him, Wilt, LeBron, Michael Jordan. Like you just go. Those are the records. Like the 4 people, and I think that's what it is, man. I think it's weird. You know what's interesting? I know we're talking about Wemby, but I want to see where Giannis ends up because it looks like the Bucks. It's going to be a divorce. I think we could agree on that, right? But where Giannis goes could almost impact Wemby's legacy. Because if Giannis goes to a team that's kind of ready-made and they could kind of keep the pieces for Giannis to pair with somebody. Like if he goes to New York and they got to give up like a Bridges, OG, whatever, and kind of keep that team, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think I like Giannis in that situation over Wemby. But for now, though,
real quick,
Wemby gonna have all the records, man. If he can stay, he gonna have all the records.
No, I agree with you. Real quick,
Yes.
let's go to the Eastern Conference. First, I want to talk about your wife's team. Let's talk about the Knickerbockers. Is this it? Is this their last window to make it to an NBA Finals with the team as constructed? And if so, or if not, what do they need to do in the offseason? Because, I mean, when we look at it right now, I mean, the Celtics are better. The Pistons look good. And then you got in the West those tough teams. I mean, even when you look at Vegas odds, the Knicks are like number 6. So is this the best chance the Knicks have? And why is Cat so soft?
Yeah, I think this is their window, man, because you figure, I think in 2028 or something, Brunson's up for his Supermax. And remember, Brunson gave them a discount that first time, and he's not going to give them a discount the second time. And I think his deal going to be insane. You know what I mean? So the window now, you have to win now. You gave up all the picks for Mikal Bridges. You paying OG a lot of money. So it's a lot of, that payroll is kind of insane. So it's not even about a fan who I think gonna win or not. What you gonna do with Cat? You know what I mean? The Cat experiment is not really going as planned. I honestly thought coming off the momentum last year, they'd be looking a little better than they are now. I don't know if it's the Tibbs, just toughness. I know he gets a lot of slack for running players into the ground, but it was a certain grit and I don't know that they had when they had Tibbs. But Mike Brown, it's very I don't know. I can't explain it. They still clinch and won games, but it just looks different somehow. Like Cat's not being utilized the right way. I don't know. They still in Brunson ball. Because it's like when in doubt, give it to Brunson, and Brunson gonna hold the ball and do Brunson things. But it's now or never, bro. With kind of what they gave up and the contracts and what Brunson is owed for past and future endeavors, yeah, they got to win now or they got to blow the team up in maybe 2-3 years for sure.
Real quick, we always talk about dark horses. I'll give my dark horse first. You can give yours. But I am a lover of the Hawks. I love CJ, Dyson Daniels, Alexander, Johnson, even the up-and-coming big that they got down there. He's playing out of his mind. Who would you say is your dark horse? I mean, I love the Hawks. I know the Hawks is going up in the Eastern Conference with all these issues, but you have an underrated LeBron James. You have an underrated shooting guard. You have CJ McCullough, which we know he can go Super Saiyan mode and get a lot of points. I mean, Atlanta is primed, and it's also a city that will get behind this team. But who would you say is your dark horse team? I got the Hawks as mine, but who is your dark horse team?
Believe it or not, man, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm going to go to Charlotte Hornets. I'm going to go to Hornets because they play free, dog. You see LaMelo, like, watching LaMelo play basketball, it's almost unreal. Like, it's like a dude at the YMCA just playing free, but he's doing it on a professional level. Remember, we talked about this years ago when I compared him to Pistol Pete, where it's just that's how they really play the game. But they play the game free, but they're highly skilled. All his passes, needlepoint, everything he does is kind of very fundamental, but it looks kind of like Harlem Globetrottery, but all his passes are precision with purpose. He's a real point guard. LaMelo Ball is a real point guard. You know, you add in Brandon Miller to that. You add in Bridges. You add in Knipple, coming off these down screens. They can make somebody serious. They can give anybody a long night. Anybody. They beat everybody this year. When they went on that 15, they won on the 15 games, what it was. So they're capable of beating whoever. You know what I mean? I like Detroit. We got to see what, K going to come back and do. That's a big injury coming back from. You haven't played basketball like that. You are at the height. You are MVP level. Then you got knocked off the horse. What does your conditioning look like? What does your rhythm look like? What does it look like when they shut K down? Is the Thompson brother going to do something? Is Duncan Robinson going to step up more? Who is the other person if they shut K down? Because that's the obvious thing. Double K. Get the ball out of Cade hands. So for me, I want to see how they adjust. But dark horse for me is the Hornets for sure. Because they unpredictable and they got nothing to lose.
All right, got another game I want to play with you. I'm going to throw 3 scenarios out. I'm going to say 2 words, and you just give me your take. 2 words. First one, Doc Rivers.
Village idiot.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Let's go with another one. Chris Paul.
That's a good one. Let me see. Humbled servant. We're going to keep it like he humbled now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would say, I just think that he.
Okay. I got one for you. Another one for you because he been on the news saying a lot. Pat Bev.
Bruised ego. Yeah.
Let's go to the Pat Bev story. I got to get your take on that. You got Dwyane Wade, a 3-time champion, a 1-time Larry O.B. Finals MVP, and you got Harden, who basically has all these scoring records. He's probably one of the greatest ISO players we've ever seen. You can put him on a level with Michael. You can put him on a level with Kobe. You can put him on a level with Tracy McGrady. But why is it that a lot of people don't have James over Dwyane Wade?
No, I think D Wade is the Derek Jeter of the NBA. I've always said that, where they are very good players who won championships. So it's like those championships. Now, Derek Jeter wasn't on the Yankees. How good would he be, right? If D Wade wasn't in the system of the Miami Heat of how he was set up, how good would he be, right? So the championships things, I don't really judge it as much because Harden was like, he went to OKC. He was a role player. How do you have James Harden as a role player? Like, who's in your scouting department to not know, let me pay him the extra money? So that's a different thing, right? For me, I look at Harden and Kobe similar in the sense of they both got late starts. But when they got their start, they never looked back. You know what I'm saying? D Wade's an all-time great, bro. 06, I was there. The greatest performance I've seen in finals history. I think this is a conversation because D Wade is too humble and he's too nice. I'm going to be honest with you. because they would never disrespect a lot of other players' names with this conversation. You know what I'm saying? And skill for skill, it's whether you like Harden or you like Wade. You know, I think basketball player wise, the numbers show Harden got more accolades as an individual player outside of the rings. You know what I'm saying? From points, assists. So, but some people value the ring. So I think it's a conversation of what you value. Because Harden is in the game changer conversation of the Stephs, the Bronze. And I don't think D Wade changed the game. Because we've seen Ginobili and these people, respectfully. And I say that with respect. But Harden literally is why you see Luka, why every player to this day is doing a step back, why they play an ISO ball. Harden is like the blueprint of the modern game, like it or not. So one's iconic, where the kids are talking about being Harden. They're not really, from his shoes to culture, they're not really looking at D-Wade on a culture level. At least the young people aren't.
I got two more to throw your way real quick. First and foremost, we're in an era where a lot of people were not able to see players that we saw growing up. And so I want you to tell people who are our listeners how great Jason Williams, the point guard, was. Because a lot of people don't realize how great Jason Williams was, from the ball being backed off his arm. The bass, to him shaking Kobe, throwing lobs over Shaq. He was a phenom, a great point guard. So let the fans know, man, because I don't think he gets his flowers. Let's talk Jason Williams real quick.
J. Will, man, White Chocolate, one of the greatest ever, man. You know, we talked about Pistol Pete earlier, where it's same kind of thing. I think he got that spirit of Pistol Pete in him, as well as LaMelo. I think they're playground type players. Jamal Crawford's in that category as well. Jay Will's insane, man. You know, him playing them highlights with him and Randy Moss in high school. Jay Will and Randy Moss on the same team. That's one of they need to do a whole documentary alone. I think they did the West Virginia thing, but really dive into that, because that's an insane amount of talent on the same court. Jay Will is a person, if he was selfish, he could have been a person to lead the league with points and assists. I think if he was selfish, he would be what we see Trae Young being right now. A true point guard who could get you 10 to 15 assists and get you 25 to 30 points easy. Jay Will had the jumper. He had the court vision. He had the IQ. He was almost like a perfect point guard, but I think I don't feel like he was ever free. Like, you see how Rondo was able to be free? I think if Jay Will kind of had that Rondo freedom, I think his career might have gone a little different. That's just my opinion.
100%. Nah, I'm with you 100%, 100%. Real quick, man, we like to give out awards every season. So I got two awards I want to ask you. And we're not talking about our NBA awards. We're talking about the Prince and Barty Awards. So I got a subject that most people don't talk about. So this is the first ever Prince 2026 NBA Awards. Our first basically topic is Prince's most shocking player of 2026. Who shocked you, gave you the wow factor in 2026?
That's a great question. Nickeil Alexander-Walker from the Hawks. He had a hell of a year, bro. We was just had the conversation about Harden. A lot of people looking at him like a Harden, where when he was in Minnesota, he was underutilized. You know, he could play. He would come in, get buckets. Shay's his cousin, man. You know, that's iron sharpen iron. I'm sure every summer they've been playing against each other their whole lives. So he knows Shay's move. He knows the ISO moves. He knows the step back. But he's thriving in Atlanta, man. You know, he upped this point. I think he might get most improved, or he's in the top 3 with that. So I'm going to go with Alexander Walker for sure. He's killing it for the Hawks, for sure.
All right. Well, we're going to do it. Everybody always know who the great number ones are on teams. But I want to know, who is Prince Robin? The greatest Robin. We know the greatest Robin of all time was Scottie Pippen as far as the number 2 player on their team. In 2020, we got great teams all across the board. Who's the best number 2? The Robin that we know that he's utilized enough to take his team, and it might not even be the championship, but he means so much to his team that if he's not there, this team is a lottery team.
That's a great question. It's interesting because this person is not really the Robin. There's another person who's the Robin, but I'll put him in the Robin category, and that's Stephon Castle. Castle is the heart and soul of the Spurs, and Harper's right behind him. You got Vassell. I really like the Spurs team, bro. Like Wemby's Wemby, but they're building like a young OKC, a young Celtics, where they got so many guys that could get it done on either night, any night. You know what I mean? But Castle will dunk on your best team. He will dunk on your best defender. He'll lock up your best player. Castle to me is like the new Drew Holiday in 2026 version with athleticism, but just playmaking. He's Drew Holiday in today's game. So I would
Facts.
say Castle is the Robin you need in 2026.
So all the series have locked in except for the play-in series. So we'll just go one. I mean, the mid series. What series are you looking forward to see the most? You got Houston and LA. You got Denver and Minnesota. In the East, you got the 3-6 matchup. Of course, is the Knicks and Atlanta, which is going to be crazy. And then I think the 4-5 position is. Oh man, I'm trying to remember who the 4-5 position is. I mean, we haven't locked everything as far as the play-in goes, but which one of these teams in the postseason you think it's going to be a 7th game series? Because a lot of these matchups, it looks like they're all going to be gentlemen sweeps. But who do you think could possibly, even if we're moving forward to the second round, what series you think is going to go 7 games besides Spurs OKC? Because we know Spurs OKC is probably going to be the greatest series in the playoffs. But besides OKC and the Spurs, what series is Prince looking forward to the most?
This might shock you, man, but I'm looking forward to that Denver Minnesota series. I think Ant is gonna take his game to a level we've never seen. And that sounds crazy because he's done so much, but it's something brewing for me with Ant that he's gonna go crazy this playoffs, win or lose. I don't know. I'm not saying they're gonna beat Denver, but I'm saying Ant alone on his back is gonna try to bring it 7 games for sure.
Facts.
This
Speaking
might
of
be an
Ant, man, I
Ant-Man
want to take.
series.
Speaking of Ant, man, let's go off the court with Ant. This is old news, but I just want to get your take on this, man. I love this story so much. Ant went to court, of course, for that whole baby mama situation, and he paid her off all in full, and she came back to the court trying to get it, and she got denied. I mean, what kind of, that story is amazing to me because, we know a lot of men who are dealing with child support. He paid everything off, and he basically out chess moved her. What's your take on that?
I mean, I think it's interesting, man. I think a lot of these athletes, they get targeted, Obviously, we're not condoning just sleeping with anybody. You gotta take accountability. But I think what Ant-Man did is it's gonna set a precedent for gold diggers, people trying to put holes in condoms or play the game dirty because now you want the lifestyle. Because what people don't realize, a lot of these females want the lifestyle. They want to be called Mrs. Edwards, they want to be pulling up to the restaurant with the whip, going valet. You could get monthly money, but you like somebody getting monthly money, but nobody know you. A lot of times these females want to be known. They want to be on your arm. They want to be in the wives section at the game, right? Because that's the
Facts.
respect so when you just say here's $1 million for 18 years, them chicks gonna burn through that money, man. So now they gotta manage the money for themselves and the kid. And that's not gonna happen. But it sucks that Ant can't be in the kid's life, but I get it. He made several attempts saying he didn't want the kid. Like it was a whole thing about that. But you see, I think a lot of chicks are gonna be like, damn, they paying it off like that. So it's gonna stop a lot of that nonsense for sure.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You guys already know what it is. It's Prince and Barty, episode 141, NBA playoffs, the beginning. We ain't really want to throw no predictions your way. We're going to let it play out. But next time you see us, we'll throw some predictions at you. Check us out real quick before we go, man. What you watching, man? What's on TV? What is Prince watching on TV right now?
Man, I gotta get back on it, man. I gotta get back on it. I know Daredevil. Is Daredevil back or is about to come back?
Listen, Daredevil's on episode 5. It is stupid. It's crazy.
Yeah, I
I
already
don't
know.
even want to reveal
Yeah,
nothing to nobody because this last episode 5 was wicked.
Yeah.
It was wicked. Something crazy.
I gotta tap in for sure. So that's what I'm gonna be locked into. I'm a Daredevil guy.
Yeah, definitely Daredevil. And for me, this is the last season of The Boys. The Boys is looking crazy. So I'm flip-flopping between The Boys and Daredevil. This is a good time for people watching streaming any. Either you watching Prime or you watching Disney Plus. But it's a good time for everybody.
Yes, sir.
Y'all tap in, man. Prince and Barty, we out of here.
Yes, sir. Episode 141.
Prince and Barty is your #1 source for all things sports. Now streaming on Spotify and iTunes.